It's the mastermind behind the mic. Give me what you like, never think about it twice. Coming with the real facts, and that's for real. Along with special guests, you know the deal. Label as the podcast, I stand on it. I'm all about my grind, cause my grind I be on it. That's what it's all about. When you're trying to be successful, you know what I'm saying? The solo show, yeah. Yeah. Back in the building, y'all. That's right. Episode 13, the solo show, with yours truly, the mastermind behind the mic, the podcast Unc. Back at it again. I hope everybody had a great week. Of course, I know there's been a lot of graduations going on within the last several days with high school graduations and college graduations and all. And definitely want to give round of applause to all the graduates. That's what's up. Yeah. I actually had two nieces to graduate, one from high school and one from college. So congrats to them also. So yeah, I can remember back when I graduated, even though that was a long time ago. It's been a minute, coming up on some years now. I'm not going to even say how many years, but yeah, it's been a minute. Let's go into the top stories. One of the top stories I wanted to kind of hint on and talk about is the baby formula. There's been a shortage of baby formula. It's causing a stir, of course, to mothers that has infant kids and all. And there's been havoc. So I think back start of May, 43% of baby formulas was out of stock at retailers. What caused this crisis was probably, I think, back in February, Abbott Laboratories, a maker of popular baby formulas, closed its manufacturing facility in Sturgis, Michigan. Now, after it recalled infant formula products, when a federal investigation started after 4 babies taking the formula developed bacterial infections, in which 2 died. So Abbott Laboratories has said that there is no link between this formula and the illnesses. Now, baby formulas was already affected by pandemic-related supply chain problems. And, of course, some Republicans have falsely suggested shortages are down due to Biden's administration sending baby formulas to undocumented immigrants. So, yeah, Republicans going to say what they have to say and all. But that baby formula, man, you got to have it. I was doing some reading, too, also about a lot of white mothers. They do a lot of breastfeeding, and black mothers don't. So, yeah, we got to have this baby formula. I think coming up, actually it was yesterday I read that 71,000 pounds of baby formula is being shipped to Indiana from Germany. So, yeah, we need baby formula because, I was listening this morning on the news also that, babies got to have the formula. All children don't use the same formula. And it's to the point now where if you don't get this formula, man, there's a possibility kids could die. So, yeah, we definitely need the baby formula. I'm hoping things get worked out. So, because I can't even imagine how mothers are feeling right now, knowing that how they're going to get baby formula for their children. So, yeah, definitely need to hope they get that shit on point, man. Coming up on a 2-year anniversary of George Floyd's death. Yeah, that one there, man. I still think back on that. That's a sad situation for the world, not only just for the nation, but for the world. If you think back on the video footage of Officer Derek Chauvin standing there with his knee on this man's neck for over 9 minutes, and this man is pleading, and he's just deliberately standing there, kneel down on this man's neck, and it's a sad situation to even reflect back on. You think about his daughter, his family, This man's family, they have to live the rest of their life without a son, an uncle, a brother, a father. They have to go try to carry on with this. And we're coming up on a 2-year anniversary of it. So continued thoughts and prayers to George Floyd's family, because that is a day that I'll never forget. And, of course, a lot of you won't forget. Video still out there. You think about his family, his daughter especially, got to carry on. And this video still out there for people to see. So, thoughts and prayers, continued prayers with their family. That was a hard one. You think back, you can remember where you was at on September the 11th when the tragedy happened up in New York and at the Pentagon and all, and, in the Flight 93. You think about that. You can remember back. I can remember back where I was at when all that happened, when it took place. And this is another one, man, with George Floyd. I can remember where I was at. And I'll never forget that. Keep this man's legacy and name alive, man, because it didn't have to go down that way. It didn't have to go down that way. Now, a little bit later in the show, I want to talk about a little bit about the tragedies that happened up in Buffalo, New York, last weekend. Terrible. I can't get over that, man. We're going to talk about it a little bit later on in the show. But coming up, entertainment. That's right. Rapper Freddie Gibbs. Yeah, this past, a couple of days ago to be exact, Freddie Gibbs was involved in a scuffle with some assailants. He was actually in Buffalo, New York to do a show. And he was at a barbecue venue and was jumped by, it was said, by 20 assailants. And I think a lot of it was due to with some beef with Benny the Butcher, rapper Benny the Butcher. Yeah, it happened. It actually took the fade a little bit. You actually got there's some video footage surfacing out there too about the incident. Freddie Gibbs, actually, I think they did him and Benny Butcher did a song together back on one of his albums back in 2020. And I think a lot of it stirred up. A lot of the beef started when I think Benny the Butcher kind of downplayed on a little bit on the track. So it just came and went away. And, of course, Freddie Gibbs, being Freddie Gibbs, he came back and had his choice words, and it caused a stir. So, yeah, these guys got to stop this shit, man. Go and make your money, man. Go ahead and get this bread. You know what I'm saying? Go out and make your money. All this beefing going on. Shit is crazy. I hope they get that shit squared away and squash that shit. All right, this weekend, man. That's right, Saturday. Rick Ross Carshow. Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of Instagram footage and, of course, a lot of pictures and all, man. And it seems like what I've seen, it turned out to be a great car show. Hats off to Ross. Man, I even know a couple people that even went there. So, and it seemed like they had a great time. Love to see that. From my understanding, it wasn't no beefing or nothing, no fights or anything going on or nothing like that, which is cool. That was awesome. But yeah, some of the photos, man, Ross, they had some vehicles there. It was looked like 5 car dealerships were there. So, man, it was dope from the video footage and all the photos I've seen from it. And hats off to him once again, man, for a great car show. From my understanding, it turned out great. So that's what's up. All right. We're going to come back in a moment, man, with sports. Got my man Brandon Janeau from the Brandon Janeau Show. We're going to talk NBA conference finals Eastern Conference, Western Conference Finals, get his thoughts and opinions on that. And we're going to have that in a moment, y'all.
Back with more of the Jock Johnson Podcast Solo Show.
All right, we are back. I got my man on the line, Brandon Janeau Podcast, my sports insider. What's up, brother?
What's up, bro? How you feeling, man?
I'm great, man. Glad to have you on. I know NBA.
Always, man.
Yeah. We're talking NBA conference finals right now. And, of course, getting our predictions of who's going to be in the finals and who's going to win it all. And we definitely going to start off with the Boston Celtics and Miami Heat in the Eastern Conference Finals. I checked out the game last night. Miami came out and did their thing. They almost let it get away from them. But they hung in there. And what's your thoughts on that game, man?
I think if Jimmy Butler doesn't go down, Miami wins that game easily.
Right.
I think Jimmy Butler being injured kind of made Miami have to redo course to redirect what they wanted to do, which led Boston to come back. I mean, Jason Tatum is a great player, but Jimmy Butler's guarding him for most of the series. So if he's not there, it's very easy to get Jason Tatum going.
Right. Yeah. Man, that game, man, I'm telling you, I actually thought it was going to be a complete blowout last night.
It was going that way. They ain't going that way.
Yeah. Now, that game, that first game, what's it, game? No, that was, last night was what, game 3, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Game 2, Boston pulled it out. I think if Marcus Smart had that was, what game was that? I'm getting the games mixed up now because that was game 3 on Saturday or Saturday night.
Last night was game.
Yeah, because one of those games Marcus Smart didn't play.
Game 1.
Yeah, that was game 1. Yeah. I think that made a difference in it too. Because not only Marcus Smart I think it was another player out too, wasn't it?
Al Horford.
Yeah. So that kind of made a difference, I think, in that game. Even though I'm not rooting for Boston because I'm not a Boston fan. I never liked Boston, even when I was growing up. Never been a Boston fan, and that's mainly because I was a big Bulls fan. And I know I used to have to battle Boston a lot. But I had to give them their props. When they get on, they are on. And I can't take that away from them, but Saturday night's game was a totally different game. And Miami came in and did what they had to do. They keep that up. I'm looking forward for them to be in the NBA Finals. Definitely.
I agree. I think we got to now look at what Jimmy Butler's going to be like the next couple games.
Right.
Figure out what that is. But, I mean, this series is going 7. I don't think either one of these teams just because the last 3 games, both teams are kind of like throwing each other out at the beginning. And at the end, it's been close.
Yeah.
So it's like game 1, I think Miami came out they were like both of those teams going at each other in game 1. Then Miami came out the third quarter and just took it. Mm-hmm. The game 2, same thing. Boston just floored them early, but Miami came out in the second half and kind of stopped them a little bit up. Kind of got back in the game, but Boston still closed it out. Same thing last night. Miami came out, blew them off the court early, but Boston came back and kind of got the game to where it needed to be. So, but still Miami took it. So it's kind of just, I think, I'm waiting for a defensive battle. I'm really waiting for a defensive battle. I don't know when it's going to happen, but I mean, because both teams can't blow each other out forever. Like, if somebody's going to have to just, maybe game 7 defensive battle. I don't know, but we shall see.
Yeah. Now, over to the Western side, of course, Dallas, the Mavericks, and Golden State. I was kind of in shock the other night, man, because I actually dozed off on that game. And when I woke up, I actually woke up middle of the night and thought about it. I'm like, damn, I missed the rest of the game. I want to check the score out. And, you know, in that game, Dallas was up.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, Dallas going to win that shit. You know, I had already thought they was going to win. But, man, when I looked, checked out Sports Center and saw Poole sitting up there with Charles Barkley and all them, I'm like, you got to be fucking kidding me. It can't be. Bro, man, I was fucking blown away. I'm like, you got to be fucking kidding me, man. Bro, I'm like, you got to be kidding me, man. They let Golden State came back on them, man. But that's a team you cannot count out. And my prediction earlier, you know, I had already said that Golden State probably going to be the team that's going to come out the West, man, to be in the finals. Hands down. I honestly think they're going to be in the finals. So that's my pick on that side. Now, Miami and Boston, I'm hoping Miami win that shit, but you can't count Boston out neither.
Yeah, true. I mean, from the beginning of the season, my pick for the NBA Finals was the Warriors and the Heat. I just didn't have a winner. I knew those two teams going to the finals. Mm-hmm. I was like, Warriors and the Heat going to the finals. From the beginning of the season, I'm like, yeah, I can see it already. The Heat and the Warriors making it.
Yeah.
It was just too much. I'm like, yeah, they gonna make it.
Yeah.
Now, did I expect Boston to be in the conversation? I didn't expect them to get to the East Conference Finals, but I expected them to get to be in the conversation because I was like, Brooklyn beat them with nobody last year.
Yeah. Like,
Jason Tatum was the only person that played in the NBA playoff series last year with Brooklyn.
Yeah.
So he's supposed to lose, and he still got a game out of that whole series. He took him to 5. Yeah. So it's just like, I felt like Warriors Heat was going to be the NBA Finals no matter what. I just didn't know. I don't know who's going to win it, but that was my final prediction from the beginning of the season because I'm just like, Jimmy Butler is on a rampage. He's going to want to get back to what, everybody counted them out last year. They got beat down by Milwaukee.
Yeah.
In the playoffs, a lot of people just counted them out. Looked like they were just bad.
Yeah.
Same day with the Warriors. I'm like, the Warriors really, they played in the play-in, but didn't even get a chance to really play in the playoffs. They lost to the Lakers in the freaking Memphis Grizzlies in the play-in.
Yeah.
So they don't have a lot of vendettas going into that season. I just knew the Warriors were going to be ready and the Heat was going to be ready. Dallas is a surprise. Nobody, I don't think Luka is going to get to the series. Like they surprised the hell out of Phoenix. Mm-hmm. I'm going to be honest. Phoenix just didn't have enough at the end of the day. I think they're just too damn cocky.
Yeah.
They got too cocky. And they forgot what's the first rule of playing basketball. It's like never get too damn cocky where you overlook your opponent.
Yeah.
Even in a 7-game series, you can never be too damn cocky.
Yeah. And
I just think the Golden State Warriors got way better defenders than Phoenix do. I know people are going to be like, well, they got Mikal Bridges. They got Crowder. I'm like, they don't have a real team defensively like the Golden State Warriors. Golden State literally has like rapid defenders.
Right.
That will stay with Luka all goddamn game. Andrew Wiggins is that dude defensively. Yeah. Been that guy. And a lot of people forget that for some apparent reason.
Yeah.
And then they got shooters. Dallas. This is a series where you're gonna see Luka just have to be Luka, and he can't do it because that's all Golden State's game plan is: stop Luka.
Mm-hmm.
No. I mean, Dallas came out game 2, and I was like, wow, that's pretty good. But I already was like, yeah. But if they let Golden State get just a sniff of a short lead, it's over. And they did.
That's it. So let me say this too. Now, with back on to the Eastern side, man, would you think there have been a big difference in the Milwaukee Boston series if Chris Middleton had been in there?
I didn't have Milwaukee getting past the Miami. I knew Miami, like I said, I'd take Miami to go to the NBA Finals. I didn't expect Milwaukee to win a championship this year. I expected them to get to maybe the East Conference Finals and get beat by Miami. I didn't expect Milwaukee to get far. So if they lost to Boston, I wasn't that surprised either. I'm like, yeah, because I get tired of people trying to act like Boston wasn't good this year. Like Boston's defense after January 1st was the best defense in the entire damn league.
Yeah, I got to give them their props, man. I got to give them their props.
We literally saw what they did to Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, and we was just like, but they ain't gonna do that to Giannis. We literally like in 5 seconds, like, they ain't gonna do that to Giannis. It was just like, what the fuck? What the fuck you talking about? Like, it was just like disrespectful. Jason Tatum is a rising star. He's been a star since his rookie year. I've been saying this for a while.
Yeah.
Dude got them to the East Conference Finals with Kyrie Irving and Gordon Hayward injured that year. And Jason Tatum got, as a rookie, got him literally a quarter of before beating LeBron James. A quarter. He needed just a quarter to beat LeBron James. A couple seconds. Mm-hmm. And he would have beat LeBron James and the Cavaliers and got to the NBA Finals his rookie year. Jason Tatum been that dude. He's been in like the last 3 to 4 Eastern Conference Finals. Like, what the hell are y'all talking about?
Yeah.
I never understood that. And yeah, they had Chris Middleton. Maybe they would have beat him, but at the same time, Milwaukee just wasn't built for this season in the playoffs. It just wasn't. Last year, they were built for that.
Yeah.
They weren't built this year for that.
Yeah. Now Tatum did his damn thing, man. I think in that game 1, man, this dude was on fire, man.
Yeah.
Now back over. I'm flopping back now, but what do you think about Chris Paul, man? I mean, he's been around for a minute. What you think about Chris Paul, man? Chances of winning an NBA title, because it's getting bleak.
Yeah, that bitch done.
Yeah. I said the same thing too. Yeah, I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, but I think it's over with, man.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Chris Paul has been one of my favorite point guards since he was playing in New Orleans. You know, that was like my first point guard in New Orleans, really. I mean, after Baron Davis. So, you know, that's the guy. For me, I always had just almost, I remember literally watching people say, is it Chris Paul or Darren Williams? Like, that was literally a debate. That was literally a debate.
Yeah.
Chris Paul or Darren Williams when they first got in the league. Mm-hmm. Which is the best one? Mm-hmm. And we've clearly seen it was Chris Paul. Like, we literally have seen that it was Chris Paul.
Yeah.
But listen, man, Chris Paul's going to be in the top 5 as point guards, but he's just not going to win a ring. And that's cool, understandable. Yeah. But you can't take away what he's done. Yeah. And, I mean, that's
sort of like Allen Iverson, man. Sort of like AI.
Yeah, like, it's so many players in the NBA Hall of Fame that didn't win a ring, that should have won a ring. Like Reggie Miller, Patrick Ewing. Yeah. Like, so many players. Karl Malone, John Stockton. Like, it should have. It's so many. Gary Payton did 1-1, but it wasn't even a guy like he used to be. Yeah. But you know, he's not going to be that. But you still are not going to like act like he's not top 5 point guard ever. Like, that's ridiculous. Like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
He's a way better player than John. So I'm just saying.
Yeah. So you know, I was actually watching a little bit of 30 for 30 today, with Reggie Miller up against the Knicks and all, man. That shit took me back. And that shit was dope, man. I was like, damn, man. It took me back to those days because Reggie Miller was a pest. He was a pest, man, to the Knicks.
People say Drake Green and Patrick Beverly are pest. Them niggas actually have a real basketball, like a real game. Holy shit. Yeah.
Right. So, all right, NBA Finals, man. Who you think is going to get there?
Warriors Heat. I don't know the winner, but I think it goes to 7 games. I don't know who the winner is, but I know Warriors Heat. That's been my finals prediction since the beginning.
I'm looking at that too. I'm still not counting Boston out, even though I am like I said, I'm not a fan, but I got to give them their props. It's kind of up in the air in that series, but I'm definitely picking Golden State out the West. I had already said that shit, and my final prediction, to be honest, I honestly think Golden State's gonna win that shit, man. It don't matter who come out east. It don't matter who come out east.
I wouldn't be surprised. Like I said on my sports show, if I was the Warriors, I would try to get this series with Dallas over fast. Because this fucking series in Milwaukee, Miami, and Boston, that shit going 7. if you can get this shit over with quick, fast, and in a hurry, you get rest, you get your ass ready for what is coming. You watch film on these dudes and get ready. Yeah. I think because it's like you don't play with this shit. You saw what the Dallas Mavericks can do with a little bit of hope.
Yeah.
Don't go to Dallas and be fucking around tonight. Better put these niggas in a box. Stop playing. Don't do that shit.
So Jimmy's gonna get it out the mud. Hey, I would like honestly, I would like to see him win that shit, man. But you know, if they make it to the finals, man, they're gonna have their hands full now because Golden State is one of those teams, man, especially with Steph Curry when this and all that shooting, man, he does, man. I'm like, God damn, man, this dude here don't miss shit. It's ridiculous, man.
I would say either one of these teams that make it out the East, I think it goes 7 games. I think it's going 7 games either way it goes. I think if Boston makes it or Miami make it against Golden State, it's going 7 games.
Yeah,
because I don't know. Boston's defense is set to like defend the Golden State. Mm-hmm. Miami though is just so goddamn collectively good.
Yeah,
it's scary.
Now, what the guy's name? Adebayo. What is? Yeah.
Adebayo.
Yeah, Adebayo. Whatever his fucking name. This motherfucker. He balled last night, man. He balled, man.
That's a fucking problem. Niggas got so many fucking weapons in Miami. It's crazy. They don't need Jimmy Butler or Kyle Lowry. That's the crazy part. They just got them niggas just in case.
Yeah. Now, I think Kyle Lowry made a big difference in it, too. Now, he's a hell of an actor, too also. He's a hell of an actor. I think he should go into acting after his career's over with, man. Now, Hero, man, he was shooting off. He was pretty bad in some instances of the game last night, but you can't count him out neither because he has his moments.
He'll go on the streak real fast.
Yeah, but yeah, you said it, man. It's possible that series could go 7 games. Jimmy may get it out the mud, though. He might end up in the finals, man. He may end up in the finals.
Like I said, I think he's starting to feel that pressure, even though people are not really pressuring him to say. Yeah. But it's like he still feels that pressure. I think he needs to win a ring just to prove that he is a really good player. And he could have been a franchise player in a lot of these other organizations.
Yeah.
So I think he needs to win a ring. Like you said, I'm with you. I would love to see him win a ring. Mm-hmm. I don't particularly have a winner yet for the NBA Finals. I got to see how it looks first. If it's the Warriors and Heat, like I've been predicting it, then I mean, damn. Oh shit. Depends on who got home court. I think he got it.
Hey, so Udonis Haslem he's still with Miami, huh? Is he still there?
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah. He's about 40, isn't he?
I just about to ask you that shit. I'm like, that nigga 40, right?
But you know, this is the only team he's been with.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's got a chance to get another ring, man. I mean, it's kind of looking promising, but they're going to have to really battle with Boston because Boston is not going to lay down, man. And they got back close last night in that game. Actually, when they went on that run, man, I thought they was going to end up coming back. But Miami held it down. So
yeah.
So yeah, my predictions are Golden State from the West, though, once again, and I'm gonna go ahead and say Miami too, man. I'm gonna say Miami. I may be wrong, but you can't count. Like I said, you can't count Boston out. So, but I think Miami gonna end up getting the edge on them. And if they continue to play like they played last night, chances are they are gonna be in the final. So, yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. All right, my brother, man, I appreciate you coming on, man, giving us your insight on the finals, the conference finals, and all. And hey, we'll see you at the end, man.
Definitely, man. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate you coming on, my brother.
Always, man.
Yes, sir. All right, then. Yeah.
Peace, man.
Yes, sir. All right, y'all. My man Brandon Janeau show. Gonna take a quick break, man. We're gonna come back. Yeah, we're gonna talk about Buffalo, the mass murders, man, that happened in Buffalo, New York, over a week ago. We had that and much more. Right after the break, y'all. Stay tuned.
With more of the Jock Johnson Podcast Solo Show.
All right, y'all. We are back. More of the solo show. We want to talk about the tragedy, the massacre that happened in Buffalo, New York on last weekend. Very, very tragic situation. Hard to even think about it. Young man committed multiple murders in one of the worst acts of violence we see a lot, dealing with some white supremacy issues, man. This young man, this one really, really hurts because these people lost their lives over stupidness, foolishness, hate. Don't understand. But I wanted to talk about it a little bit. And this young man, Peyton Gendron, out of a small town in New York State, southeast of Buffalo, about 200, young man drove over 200 miles to commit these murders. And it's a sad situation. Young man grew up in actually upper middle class family, 2 brothers, and committed these crimes. And we see so much of this going on in the United States, and it's to a point, man. When is it going to stop? You know, when is it going to stop? Young man, 18 years old, just graduated high school last year. Had too much time on his hand. This young man had some demons going on inside of him. And just, you know, from what I've been reading, you know, this is something he had been planning for months. He's been planning this for quite some time. He was kind of contemplating whether he wanted to do it or not, or either commit suicide. But instead, he didn't commit suicide. He actually killed over 10 people, black people. And it's sad. I was looking at some of the write-ups and all, did some reading, did some research. I had to speak on it a little bit, you know, because this is very disturbing. This young man was preparing an attack, like I said, for months. It goes on to say that he cross-referenced all the zip codes in the New York State with the demographic data of each area until he found the one with the highest concentration of black people. Yeah. This young man killed black people, 10 black people. During the first coronavirus lockdown, it goes on to say during the first coronavirus lockdown in the spring of 2020, a bored young man began to descend into the darkest corners of the internet, moving from one chat group about guns to another about political extremism, until he ended up in the forums that warned about extinction of the white race. In June of the following year, when he was finishing his studies at his high school in Conklin, a little small town where there's like 90% of the population is white, the students were asked to tell what they plan to do after graduating. Then Gendron, 17, replied that he was planning a murder-suicide, an act of violence that has become all too common in the United States. A shooter murders multiple people, then takes their own life. The school called the police, and he said it was all a joke, and then he was sent for a psychiatric evaluation. Now, 2 weeks later, he graduated and fell off the police radar. According to state law, the police should have put down his murder-suicide comment on his record, which would have prevented him from buying a gun. And they didn't do that shit. They didn't do that. Now, this past Thursday, two banners were made by students at the school saying, "We stand with Buffalo." Like I was just saying, man, this is horrifying. I've heard the stories. I've listened to some of the stories of people that was in that store, in the supermarket, and heartbreaking. I can remember a lady was saying that she actually walked by one of the ladies that was murdered seconds. I'm talking about it was like seconds after she just walked past her going into the store. When everything was over, she came back out. This lady was laying in the parking lot, deceased. Sad situation. This young man was ready for combat. He was fully dressed with helmet. Actually was videoing, from my understanding, and it was on Twitch. And I think Twitch has since removed the video, but, you know, once it hits the internet, everything is out there. So I'm quite sure this video are still out there somewhere. I hadn't seen the video. Don't want to see the videos. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. This man right now, of course, I believe is one of the most hated young men in the United States right now. This young man had too much time on his hand, especially during the coronavirus lockdown, as it said. He was on there surfing the internet. White supremacy, man. It's sad. We shouldn't have to deal with this. You know, these people woke up that day with plans on what they was going to do. We all do it. You know, we all go grocery shopping. We go to the grocery stores or convenience stores or whatnot. And you don't have a clue that if you're going to make it back home. These people was probably had plans on doing this and that. Went to the grocery store, pick up some goods. And just like that, their life ended. Definitely thoughts and prayers with those families that's going through this ordeal right now. I can't even imagine what their thought process is like now. It's a sad situation. Police let this young man slip through the cracks. We see it all the time. This young man should have been monitored. This young man should have had that on his record about committing a murder-suicide. That way he couldn't have got a hold to a firearm. This young man had an AR-style 15 assault rifle, dressed for combat, bulletproof gear. And when all this was over, as one of the witnesses was saying that he acted like he wanted to be shot. But guess what? The cops didn't do nothing. They didn't shoot him. Another witness said, what if he had been black? Would he have been shot? My opinion? Oh, yeah. So this situation, it's a tough one. You think about these 10 people lost their lives. I think the oldest was like 86 years old. I think the youngest was like 32 years old. These people are gone. Their families in turmoil. They're torn. This one guy said that he knew a couple of those people personally. Knew one for over 20 years, one for over 30 years, talked to him on a daily basis. And this happens. The one thing I say about life, man, you don't never know when it's going to end. And you have to enjoy it to the fullest, because when you step out that door every day, it's not promised that you're going to make it back. You don't know if you're going to make it back. It's a sad situation. This young man, I don't know what he could have told his parents. I know he was out of school. He graduated high school. Quite sure he was still at home. Because from what I've read, this young man had visited that supermarket, Top Supermarket, back in March. He already had a pretty much a fucking roadmap of what he was going to do. Then he visited again that Friday before. They didn't know that whether or not why he didn't do it that Friday. But he ended up spending the night in a parking lot in a nearby area and did it that Saturday. Now I'm wondering, what did he tell his parents? Okay, you still staying at home. It's obvious you spent the night where this all was going to take place. What did you tell your parents you was going to do? They know. I'm quite sure they know what kind of lie he might have told, or because I'm quite sure they didn't know he was going to do anything like this. I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. But I wonder what he told them. Because he didn't stay at home that Friday night. From my understanding, he didn't. He spent the night in a parking lot nearby, in a nearby area, and committed this senseless act of cowardness the next day. This is what we're seeing. With shootings and all. But for this young man to target black people, it's totally racist. It's a sad. Yeah, I'm pissed a little bit. I'm pissed a lot. Not a little bit, but a lot. But I had to touch on this. Because it shouldn't have to be like this. Why people can't get along with each other. Why? Why? That's the big thing. Why? People being racist. I don't have a racist bone in my body, but I'm against racism. Totally against it. We shouldn't have to deal with this. People, make sure you know what your kid's doing. Make sure you keep your eye on your kids. You don't want your kids thinking that you're trying to contain them and put them inside of a box. But at this day and age, you got to keep your eye on them. See what they're doing on the internet. Take their phones. Check their laptops, computers. See what they're doing. See if they're smart enough to cover their tracks. Keep your eye on your kids. You have to. You have to. And if the cops had to did what they needed to do, they could have prevented this probably from happening. Not to saying that he couldn't get a gun, because there's ways of getting weapons, but he wouldn't have been able to buy it on his own from a store, from a gun shop. This young man had a lot of ammunition. This young man had plans to go to other places to murder people after this took place. But he got apprehended. So my thing is, you got to keep your eye on your kids. This young man, as I was saying before, from what some of the neighbors in that area, from where he lived at, said that they was an upper middle class family. Young man was living quite well. It happens a lot. But this one hurts. This one hurts. So yeah, I'm pissed today, y'all. I had to get it off my chest a little bit because I was thinking about that. Thinking about it. Looking at these people's photos, the ones that lost their lives, looking at it. As I was saying, the oldest one was 86 years old. I think one person was 77. It's the list goes on, man. Yeah. 32, 52, 53, 55, 62, 65, 67, 72, 77, and 86. People lost their lives over bullshit. Total bullshit. Continue prayers. Prayers for the people in Buffalo. Praying for those people that lost their loved ones. Praying for you. Most definitely. For any guests that want to be a part of the Jock Johnson podcast, the solo show, or have any questions or comments, hit me up on IG at The Real Jock Johnson. Also, you can check out my YouTube channel. It'll be available real soon. Hadn't put anything on it yet, but like, share, subscribe to the channel. Also, check me out on 216 The Blend, Cleveland, Ohio Live Radio, 365 on Tuesdays at 8 a.m. and again at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. And, of course, that'll be 9 a.m., 9 p.m. Eastern. Also, hit me up on my email at jockjpodcast@gmail.com. Love to hear from you. Love to get you on the show. All right, y'all. It's about going to wrap it up for yours truly, the mastermind behind the mic, the podcast Unc. Always remember, do what you love what you do. I'm out, y'all.